Hey Zach, congrats on the new deal. Got to know, does the money go to the hog hunting? Does the RV? What is the first expenditure that you do with the check?
Man, shoot, that's a good. No, I think the hog hunting's an investment for me, the business. So I think we might try something with that. But for the RV, no, I love it. I'm happy with the one I got. It's perfect for me. I'm gonna keep that and keep going. I plan on being that for a while.
Omar?
So you mean you're really going to continue to live in the RV community?
Yeah, of course. I enjoy it. I mean, for me, it's easy. It's simple. I most of my time spent at the facility anyways, so I don't see any point in anything else for now. Obviously, things can change year to year, but for me right now, that's what I got, Omar. Yeah.
Joe?
Hey, Zach, congratulations to you. What does this mean to you to get a commitment from an NFL organization, considering your journey playing at a small school, being a seventh round pick, getting cut?
It's huge. For me, um, just shows the organization just to have faith in me, and I just want to go out there each week and play my best, and it just shows just how good, how happy I am with. Shoot, I'm sorry, people just blowing up my phone. I'm trying to swipe everything out of the way. No, it's exciting. This organization's great. Top down, Mr. Ross, Mr. Greer, Coach Flores, Boyer, everybody, all the D-line coaches. So to be able to be here and grow with them as a team and continue this culture that we're starting to build is very exciting for me, and I'm very happy to be a part of that.
Adam?
Curious, when and how did this come about? Did you have an idea for a while, or was it, Chris called you into his office this morning and said, "Hey, let's get this done"?
I don't know when they started talks. Really, that was more so between my agent and them. Last time my agent called me and kind of laid some stuff out after the game and kind of explained some stuff. Hey, this is kind of what we're looking at. Would you be interested? What would you like? What are you thinking? And just kind of today we kind of went through and got it all buttoned up, and then we're able to make a deal today and sign that. I'm very excited.
Travis?
Hey, Zach, want to kind of just relive the last year's journey with you. And, you come over here off waivers from Baltimore, and you wind up on the team, get an extension in the offseason for one more season. And now here you are with a 3-year contract extension. I'm just curious if you can kind of reflect on that year, maybe where your game grew to get you into this position, who you might give credit for coaching you up, or teammates along the way. If you can just kind of reflect on the last year of your life for us.
Yeah. So obviously last year was my second year in the NFL. I was with the Ravens both those years. I grew as a player there. And then obviously I was cut claimed here on December 9th. And they really, the Dolphins, the coaching, and just the staff and everyone kind of gave me an opportunity to really take my game to that next level and start to grow. Coach Hobby, Coach Clark, Coach Robbie, and K-Jack now, who's here, they all have just helped me just grow my game and just learn as a player is just how to become effective. And Boyer explaining stuff to me and helping me kind of realize, hey, what kind of role we need you to be, and me just fully taking that and learning from what he's saying and how to make the most out of that, if that makes sense. And just having this off season to have, even though it was tough with COVID, that was obviously a big hurdle for everybody, but to make the most out of what we were given with the COVID laws and restrictions and just keep growing as a player and maybe even use that to my advantage.
Al?
Yeah, Zach, kind of following up on that a little bit, I suppose. There what, I don't know, hundreds of guys who get cut every year. And for a lot of them, you never hear from them again. Why do you think you're here and enjoying what you are right now, your reward? And was there ever a point when you doubted that this might not happen?
For me, kind of just how I was raised, my family, parents, and just where I came from. I feel like I have a good sense of just never quitting and never So yeah, things might be bleak and just not and grim and just not great. But God will give us an opportunity with everything, and just for me to realize and make sure I turn those anything that might be negative at the time, try to realize how to make that into a positive. So getting cut and getting claimed here. Some guys go, this was awful and just feel sorry for themselves, but that's where I try to look as an opportunity for me to grow and develop, and that's what I hopefully have been doing and can continue to do while I'm here.
Omar?
Okay, Zach, you got to paint a picture for me here about this RV. How many square feet are we talking about? And is your girlfriend going to be fine with this decision that you've just made?
All right, so the second question, I don't think I can answer that one. But the first one, it's a 35-foot fifth wheel. So it's got 2 slide outs, whatever that, I don't know how wide it is, 10 feet, 35 times 10. So you're looking at small space. But it's a toy hauler, got a nice patio out back. The back door drops down, little patio, and then you can go all the way down, and there's a garage. You can put like a golf cart or something back there. You do trips with it. So, and on top of all that, to have a trailer, it's an opportunity for me to get a truck and build that truck up bigger because you got to tow a trailer. So it's a nice little excuse for me to work on. That's why to tinker on truck. That's why I enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
Adam?
I wanted to get your thoughts on kind of the amazing nature of the NFL. You're a guy who had to put on 50 pounds at a dungeon, you told us, working out to YouTube because you didn't have a strength coach. And next to you on the defensive line will be, for years to come, a guy who was a first-round pick who went to the gold standard of programs in the NFL, and Christian Wilkins. I mean, just how wild of a story is that?
Yeah, it's definitely not the most conventional way to get here, but again, for me, I'm gonna make the most of any opportunity I get, and I think, and that's what the Dolphins have shown is no matter how you get here, if you play and you perform and you buy into the culture and the system they have here, they will reward you for it as you continue to grow and perform as a Dolphin, and I really appreciate that opportunity they've given me.
All right, we'll take 2 more. Joe?
Zach, what do you think is your potential as a player? Obviously, you've greatly improved since arriving in the NFL. Do you have, goals, aspirations? Or how do you think you can make the biggest impact during the term of this contract?
For me, definitely just continue to grow, run and pass, learn just offenses and how to manipulate players and how to work edges and get around guys and take on double teams or take on scoops and all that kind of stuff. Just to keep refining and fine-tuning each one of those things and become an all-around stout player that can play anywhere from end to zero across the line and be able to do it all in case something happens. As we've seen this year with COVID, with all these teams, you never know what's going to happen. So, and be able to do all that to help the team out wherever they need me.
All right, last one, Steve.
Zach, I don't want to give your outfitter operation short shrift. You said maybe some investments up there. Where would you like to spend some money and make some upgrades?
Advertisement, get our name out there. That's always a number one for us, especially being a young company. And then probably just making it, just keep classing it up. We put a barn out there. We've got new buggies. We're working on a buggy right now, getting that built. Side-by-sides, boats, whatever we need. We've got some, but just keep growing and be able to house more people and take more people in on weekends and continue to make it a better and better operation each week. And just like with football, just keep growing every week.
Hey, can you talk about the process for you in terms of the development that you've made at nickel? How is it different from the boundary, and what has been involved in that transition?
It's definitely a different realm, I guess you could say. You can't really get as much hands-on. And you're matched up against a lot of quicker, faster receivers. So just transitioning into that, and it's involved a lot more tackling, fitting in the box. So Coach GA has helped me a lot with that, showing me a couple of safety fits and showing me film of some good nickel slot corners in the league, and just breaking down their film, showing me how they play on certain situations. So just taking all that in and just trying to grow week by week. That's what's been helping me a little bit.
Travis?
Yeah, good afternoon, Nick. Kind of on that same train of thought there, Keenan Allen comes into this game second in the league in catches and then finishes the day with only 3. I'm curious to ask you, how were you guys able to neutralize one of the game's best receivers? And did you view that as something sort of a personal challenge, given how often both you and he line up inside?
Well, I mean, watching film every week, you can see that Herbert was throwing to Keenan Allen on the go-to situation. So, I mean, we're just trying to make sure in the game plan we can limit him as much as possible and make him throw to some of the other guys. So I think we did a pretty good job at that, and that's what helped us execute and limit him out there.
Joe?
Hey, Nick, good to see you. I got a Miami Dolphins tweet. The Dolphins locked up Zach Sieler, 23. So Sieler gets a 3-year contract extension.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, congrats to him.
Yeah, no, congrats. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, breaking news. So when you see a guy kind of with his story, gets cut, 6th rounder, Ferris State, small school, what do you think about what has happened here for him?
No, that's for sure inspiring, because Sieler, he grinds hard every day, and you can just see it out there on the field. He's a monster out there. So for him to get that, I'm super proud of him and happy for him. That's just motivation for sure. Congrats to Sieler.
Adam?
You mentioned motivation, and when you saw what transpired this offseason, Dolphins make Byron Jones the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. They go out and use a first rounder and a corner on Noah. Did you think at the moment where?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was just saying when you saw all the moves the Dolphins made in the offseason to improve at corner, Byron,
Right.
Noah Igbenogany and all that, did you think in the moment, hey, where's my spot going to be? And was that sort of, crystallized in your mind that, hey, I need to get to it? And do you think that?
No, I mean, I'm always trying to put as much work in as possible. So just seeing that, I'm like, okay, we got some more guys on the team. I'm going to just fit in wherever they need me. Come in, put my heart out on, and just put the work in every day. And wherever they need me to play, I'm willing to do it. Just want to help the team win, for sure.
Omar?
Want to ask you, in terms of who you studied, who were some of the cornerbacks, some of the nickel guys that you studied when you were reviewing some film?
I know we watched some Kenny Moore from the Colts. I think he's played a little bit in the slot this year, or past couple years. And Marlon Humphrey, I know he does a great job of punching the ball out. I think he has like 4 forced fumbles this year. So just seeing how they've transversed into the slot and how their game has progressed, just watching all that stuff has kind of helped me a little bit. Trying to learn some different techniques what I can use versus different receivers and stuff like that.
I will take 2 more, Travis.
Hey, Nick, I want to go back to the sack you had yesterday to open up the game. One of my favorite things to watch about this team is it seems like there's always pressure coming where the quarterback tries to kind of escape, and that seemed like what happened on that play. I'm curious if that's the case, and also how much does it help to blitz in behind a guy like Emmanuel Ogbah?
No, as you can see, he gets a sack every week. So I think even on that play, they're probably more worried about him and just check the running back to block him or something. I'm not sure, but when I came off the edge, running back had his eyes locked on Ogbah, so that freed me up off the edge, and Herbert ran kind of right out to me. Just had to secure that. Yeah, he's a dominant force out there for sure.
Last one, Cam.
Nick, what's up, man?
What's
you
up?
talked about learning from folks earlier. Curious, you played a lot of outside corner last year, and now you've been doing a lot in the slot. How did you kind of work on your transition so that, was there a point where you knew, hey, this is where I probably need to do, more of my work, and how did you kind of get there to where you are now?
Yeah, like I said, corner, you can get a lot of hands-on in the beginning of the routes and stuff, and just in the slot. You can do that as well, but they have a lot more access to the field and the width. They can go outside, inside. They can run across the whole field. So you got to be ready to get on your horse. So like I said, just trying to transition, work on my footwork, work on staying lateral when I'm off at like 3 yards or so, and just shuffling down instead of opening my hips so I don't get caught in bad positions.
Hey, good afternoon, Durham. I wanted to ask you about how you felt like the offense performed on Sunday. You seem like you guys are getting a lot of short fields from the defense that might skew your yards a bit, but take us behind how film study went today and actually what went well, what didn't.
Hold on, Durham. You're muted there. Durham, you're muted there. Durham, you're muted there. There you go.
Man, classic. Yeah, I think the offense is playing pretty well, or played well yesterday. Like you said, the last 4 or 5 weeks have been pretty interesting from the offensive side of the ball, just because the defense and special teams are giving us a short field a lot of the time, which is obviously nothing to complain about. But yeah, we put an emphasis yesterday on trying to be able to run the ball a little bit more efficiently, which I think we did. And Tua made some throws when we needed those too. So I think overall we played pretty well. Obviously there's things to clean up in all phases and all facets, but for the most part, I think we're trending in the right direction.
Safin?
Hey, Durham, I only had one criticism of your touchdown, man, and it was a really weak spike by you in the celebration. I'm sorry.
I've gotten very mixed reviews on that spike. It definitely felt pretty weak leaving my hand, but then on video, I thought it looked, somewhat decent. But yeah, I've had very mixed reviews. Just gotta hit the film and improve the technique on the spike for next time.
Durham, what has been working for you guys in the red zone recently? I've noticed, all of Tua's touchdowns have come in the red zone, and the Dolphins have also done a really good job of getting you tight ends free for some plays in that area. What are some things that are really helping with you guys?
Yeah, I mean that's a part of the field that we put a lot of emphasis on during the week, whether it's running the ball or play design, like you kind of mentioned, that frees people up. I think we over the last 4 or 5 weeks, really all season, we've had plays in our game plans that free people up. Like you saw me yesterday, there was no one within 10, 15 yards of me. So I think that's a reflection of, the offensive staff and the game plans they're putting together in the red zone. And, us just kind of going out there and realizing there's an emphasis on it and then trying to execute.
Adam?
Yeah, you kind of stole the question I was going to ask. But when you heard that call come in, you knew obviously the ball was going to come your way, or if it didn't, something went wrong. Did your eyes get big? You're like, oh crap, I'm going to be 10 yards clear of the rest of the defense. I better not drop it. Yeah.
Obviously, you love to hear the play call come in, but then I always tell people when you are that alone in the end zone, it is kind of a lonely. You feel like the ball's in the air for 10, 15 seconds, but there's definitely nothing to complain about in terms of an uncontested touchdown catch. So I won't complain about that.
Anything else? Joe?
Hey, Durham, good to see you. Jakeem Grant's been telling us for 5 years that he is like a Pro Bowl receiver. And that's halfway joking. Obviously, he's an extremely confident guy. But in the last couple of weeks, he's really kind of shown me something. What have you noticed about his growth as a receiver?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Jakeem, obviously, first and foremost, with the ball in his hands, he's one of the most electric players in the NFL, whether it's on special teams in any return game or getting him the ball in space on offense. So once the ball's in his hands, anything can happen. And I think for him, it's been, consistency and really getting opportunities. And over the last couple of weeks, he's made the most of those opportunities in terms of, the offensive side of the ball and on special teams. So, I mean, I think Jakeem's put a lot of work in terms of just being consistent and obviously a very electric type of player. It's always exciting to see him kind of going just kind of crazy with the ball and just watching him go. So I'm happy for him, and he has been very consistent lately.
Our last one, Travis.
Hey, Durham, how's it going, man? I wanted to ask you about a guy on the other side that maybe you see in practice quite a bit, and Shaq Lawson. And we see these social media posts of him just grinning and laughing the entire game. And I know Coach Flores has a pretty serious, focused mindset that, you know, he talks about how players who it's important to are a key aspect of being Miami Dolphins. But I'm wondering how Shaq has found a way to kind of strike that balance between serious and focused and just absolute class clown who's out there making everybody laugh. How important is that to a football team?
Yeah, it's very important. I think this kind of goes back to, you know, this staff, this regime bringing in the right type of guys, because I think you absolutely need a balance on a team in the NFL in terms of guys who are, I mean, we all take obviously games seriously, but guys who are, you know, almost always business, kind of straightforward, and then guys who bring some energy and some fun to it. And you know, Shaq is a huge energy producer for us, whether it's, you know, pregame in the locker room, at halftime, on the field, like you said, with these pictures of him laughing and stuff. So I think, you know, this staff has done a great job bringing in the right people that mesh well together, personalities that mesh well and kind of feed off of each other. And like I said, Shaq is a huge spark plug for us in terms of energy, which has kind of showed up on the field, especially on the defensive side of the ball over the last couple of weeks.
Emmanuel, what's up, man? First, you have to tell us what whip you're pushing right now. But also, I wanted to ask you, man, you know, after the injury last season and your time with the Chiefs, to have the success you've been having now this season, you know, what does it all mean to you, man?
It means a lot, man. I've been around. I feel like I've been on 3 teams in 5 years, which I'm tired of moving. But you know, it's been quite a journey. But you know, I'm blessed and I'm grateful. You know, all the experiences I've had. I'm just happy to be a Dolphin.
Travis.
Hey, Emmanuel, how's it going, man? I wanted to ask you about your teammate and kind of counterpart there on the other side, and Shaq Lawson. There was a great video of you guys back in training camp where he was complimenting your heavy bleeping hands is what he talked about. I was curious, what kind of stuff do you guys do on a daily basis to kind of work with each other and improve your games? And also, if you can, just kind of talk about the personality that we see all the time on all those great videos.
Usually in individual drills, we work together. So that's where that kind of started off. But Shaq's a character, you know, he brings energy to the group. Him and Christian, they both bring great energy to the group. And that same laugh y'all see on social media, he does that all the time. We hear that 24/7. So it's a good thing. It's actually a mix because it's not all business all the time. You know, you got to have some fun with it too. It's a game we all grew up playing, and he just brings that energy every time he's out there with us.
Adam.
Yeah, man, I wanted to kind of piggyback more on what Safid was asking. This is for you. This is probably how you expected your career to go, and it took a couple of years to get here. What were some of the trials and tribulations and setbacks you had, and was this the vision of you playing at this level? Because I mean, there's not a Pro Bowl this year, but you would be in Pro Bowl consideration if there were. I mean, it's got to be rewarding for you. But can you just talk about the journey a little bit?
Yeah, obviously I was drafted by the Browns. You know, every time you get drafted by a team, you want that team to be your home. You want to stay that team for your life. But you know, everything happens for a reason. So yeah, it's just been a journey. I know I've had my ups and downs. You know, I started hot and got short to injuries. But you know, I've been focusing this year and just staying healthy. You know, taking care of my body, spending money on my body, just to make sure I'm good to have a full season. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Emmanuel, just kind of wanted to, I guess, piggyback what Travis was talking about with the hands. You know, I watched you a little bit before. You've always had good hands, but this year it seems like your hand use is like next level. I guess maybe can you take me into, you know, sort of what you may have done or what you've been able to do this year with your hand use to be able to get off blocks so effectively?
I mean, I've been working on hands ever since I got out of college. I feel like that's the key to a D lineman game. And so every year I progress, I work at it. So, you know, you're going to eventually grow and become better and better as keep improving and working on your hands every offseason. So I guess I just got better and better at it. So.
Joe?
Hey, Emmanuel, it says here you've had at least a half sack in 8 straight games and at least 1 sack in 6 straight games. I don't know if you remember that basketball game where the guy used to get on fire and he like couldn't miss. I kind of feel like that's you right now, like Steph Curry or something. What's the hottest you have ever been like in a sack streak in your life? Was it college, high school, peewee?
I'll say it's college or not, end of the year with 13 and a half. That's probably the hottest I've had. But, it just takes the, play calling, just working together as a defense, coverages work hand in hand, X back there, Byron back there holding it down, giving me a second or more just to get back there and just do my thing. And I'm grateful to have those guys back there helping me out.
Omar?
You talked about putting money into your body. What does that all entail? Are we talking acupuncture, chiropractic? What is it? What's the difference between the young Emmanuel and the veteran Emmanuel?
The young Emmanuel was didn't really take into consideration how much your body, how much you use your body during the season. So I was really not really into nutrition like that. I didn't really work out as hard as I am now. And just like massages, like you said, acupuncture, cryo, I just get all those stuff done. I don't think about the money anymore. I think about it as an investment to my body also.
Adam?
Yeah, right now you're, I think, 4th in sacks, and the names that you're behind are like TJ Watt and Aaron Donald. And I mean, that's a whole nother level. I mean, you've been productive in the past, but I mean, those are really some of the very best players on the planet. When you hear your name in that breath, what do you think?
First of all, I don't listen to stuff like that because it's week to week. Anything can happen. But, I just stay focused and just keep doing my assignments and just going out there and giving it all I got, and just try to make plays every time I get an opportunity to.
Steve?
Manuel, one of the Rams players a couple of weeks ago was talking about, defensive players was talking after the game about he'd never seen the kind of pressure that you guys brought. And the Chargers coach, Anthony Lynn, was saying yesterday after the game that you all bring pressure like nobody else in the NFL. To hear those things from the other side, what does that mean to you?
We work on that every day at practice, and until it gets stopped, we're going to keep doing it.
Stopping.
All right, Emmanuel, I need you to settle something for me. Who's played better this season, you or X? I'm trying to figure out who the MVP of the team is. You got 8 sacks, he got 5 picks. You're the reason y'all scoring more touchdowns defensively than X is, although he's getting the turnovers just like you are. You got to settle the debate for us, man.
How you gonna put me on the spot like that, man? Come on, But I'm gonna let you guys decide because I feel like we're both playing good and we're both improving every week, and we just make each other better. Like I said, pass rush and coverage work hand in hand. So me getting the sacks could be him back there holding the receivers, and him getting a pick could be me pressuring the quarterback. So it work hand in hand.
We'll take 2 more. Cam?
Hey, Emmanuel, I just want to go back some you said earlier about you moving around a lot of your career. Have you started to think about this and whether Miami could be a long-term place for you?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm tired of moving. I don't want to move no more. So, I mean, if God willing, it'll be Miami, then I'll be thankful for it. I'll be happy to it.
All right, last one. Travis?
Hey, Emmanuel, I want to go back to something you talk about often with the trust between you and the coaches and kind of that mutual trust you guys have. I'm just curious if you can go maybe a little bit more in depth on what exactly that means in terms of how you get that trust and how it has a positive impact on the field for someone on the outside that maybe doesn't know exactly what that does for a player and coach relationship.
You know, we're the players. We're out there, so we see sometimes what the coaches don't see. So when I come to the sideline and say, hey, the offensive tackle is giving me this and whatnot, I want to take this, take this move. And so I would like tell him like, hey, I'm going to take this move. Can you have somebody like to, cover me or something like that? That's the trust we have with each other. And he would say, okay, I'm counting on you. I know you're going to make that play, so you go ahead and do it. And so, and when I go out there and do what I said I was going to do, that's how the trust keeps going and getting bigger.